Bad apples, good apples, great apples, gray apples. Are we gonna rap? Show! It's on. Welcome to Trending Trends with Professor Benjaja. I am the Professor Ja of the Jaws. Welcome to the show. Thank you for coming to this show. We're all human, so we've got a lot in common. What's trending? I mean, look. We just had Trump supporters run up Capitol Hill like they were trying to take the Declaration of Independence or something like that, completely disrupting, not dismantling, but very much showing us how fragile our democracy is. Before I get too much into professorial things, we have also some other wonderful trending news. Today, the Hoverboard Build Part 2 by the Hacksmith is the video that we're going to be watching. I like to try to not be political. It's hard not to be right now, despite everything that's happening. But because you're going to see this video in some kind of a time vacuum where, you know, you might see this video a year from now or in 2 days from now, who knows what's going to happen? Things might change. Computers may take over before we get to, you know, fall in love and have a family and stuff like that. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe to this channel. I'm going to ask you a couple more times throughout this video because whenever you watch any YouTube video, you at least have to hear that at least 3 times for that video to really perform well with YouTube's algorithms. If you want to follow me on other social media things, you can do that at Ben in Venice. I hate self-promotional stuff, but it's so important for things to work. Anyway, here we go without any further ado. Here we go, Hoverboard Test Part 2.
We're about to do our 4th hover test. Hopefully this time actually works. 3, 2, 1. That was hovering.
All right, I'm going to pause it real fast just to catch you up. The Hacksmith is a guy, awesome guy, who makes all the things that we wished were real in the world from movies we watch. And he's smart and handsome, and he works out and does a lot of pull-ups. You can tell by his body shape. He's nice, and he's created this video. He hired this guy to come in and help him make a hoverboard, and they've been working on it for a long time. So either making a hoverboard is really hard to do, which I imagine it is, because it's not like we see those around yet, but also the guy he's hired could just be terrible at making hoverboards. But I think they're going to accomplish it in this episode, so we'll find out.
Kiwi Code, the best way to learn how to make things right at home. Let me tell you something. There's a reason that we're 5 years behind Back to the Future 2 in the creation of hoverboards. It's frickin' hard. In fact, a few years ago, a team of students at Full Sail University tried with me, but with only a 2-week time window, it didn't quite work. So you guys remember Jimmy.
Because of science.
Yeah.
He's the co-op that we hired to make me a hoverboard. In part 1 of the series, Jimmy took us through all the theory of how a hoverboard should work.
Right.
Developing that theory alone took several months. He then built all the components to bring that theory to reality. But the thing is, nothing ever exactly goes according to plan.
You can say that again.
Good on paper, but until you test it out for the first time, you never really know. Jimmy had a hard deadline to finish the hoverboard because the video was supposed to come out on December 10th, and his co-op term was almost over. So Jimmy put everything together, and we thought we were good to go. Then the problem started. We couldn't get all 8 motors running simultaneously, and we didn't know why. But Jimmy had a deadline, so he persevered. He stayed late, he worked on weekends, and he drank more Red Bull than a frat house on spring break. And he got it working. So it was time for the very first test. What he'd been working towards his entire co-op. Bad speed controller. All it takes is one bad apple, as they say. So we had to order new speed controllers, which doesn't work well for the...
Yeah, on the bad apple thing, I was thinking about this the other day. Bad apples, good apples, great apples, gray apples.
Generally, we want to make sure everything design-wise is finalized before moving on to aesthetics. But we don't really have that luxury right now, so Jimmy is actually over at Twin City Graphics right now, working on assembling the board at the same time it's being wrapped. Let's hope that speed controller comes in time.
I didn't understand anything that he just said, but I have selective listening. Are we gonna rap? Show! Yo, get the pink on. Get the slip with the drink. Get your drink on. Yo, I want a hoverboard with Marty. Hit that. You can come to my party. 1970s, this was where it's at. Or maybe 1980s, I don't really live with that. Yo, I was in 90s.
Pretty good, man. Board's coming together well. Mike is killing it over there, and I guess I'm doing okay.
Fresh pink, put it on the tile. Come on, I wanna make love to a crocodile. Why would I? It's not really like it matters. What does it matter if I wanna make love to crocodiles? Do you care? What does it matter? They're amphibious. They live in the water, not the air. Come on, I wanna make love to that sweet scale.
My new speed controllers are here.
All right,
the
well,
board is
listen.
wrapped and partially assembled. Let's get the rest of this thing together. As stated before, we're going to be using 8 magnet wheels. Each magnet wheel will have its own dedicated ESC. A magnet wheel will draw around 200 amps at about 50 volts. That's about 80 kilowatts of power from all 8 wheels. That's the equivalent of about 4 lightsabers, 4 Colin Firth drift trikes, or about 3 times the power of the actual shot can draw from the grid. Gen Z's hooked us up with these batteries to make this thing actually work. If you haven't heard of Gen Z's, they make some of the best batteries in the world, and it's how we power most of our creations. We've separated...
I think that's what my girlfriend powers her vibrator with. You should see that thing go. Ho ho ho! Slam dunk!
So, we've separated each corner of the hoverboard such that if an ESC fails and it blows up,
Yeah.
it won't damage any of the other ESCs in the chain.
Smart.
8 and 6 are on
Smart.
one power system, and 7 and 5 are on another.
I would have
To
done the
actually
same
communicate
thing.
with the ESCs and control them, we'll be using this wireless receiver and controller. The wireless receiver and Arduino combo will send a PWM signal to act as a throttle input to all the ESCs. In other words, if I pull the trigger, we're going to be hovering.
Right. Cool. Cool.
Everything checks out. Just one test left to do. Let's see if it hovers.
Can you...
All right, so I haven't really done much on this project, so they've elected that I get to hold it when it turns on in case something goes wrong.
Yikes.
Jimmy, what happened?
I don't know. I replaced all the ESCs. They're all brand new. Worked perfectly fine on the bench test, so I guess I'm working late tonight.
That always happens on the bench test. It always goes well when you do the backflip before you say, hey friends, I just learned how to do a backflip, watch, and then you do the backflip but you don't have as much confidence because
We always get asked how to get started with engineering, which is why we're super excited to partner with KiwiCo again and give you guys 50% off your first monthly crate.
Great deal.
KiwiCo wants kids to have the creative confidence to tackle problems with no one right answer.
I want
Helping
that
them
for
become
kids
fearless
too.
Innovators to not just make a project, but to make a difference too.
Check out KiwiCo, and if you have kids or what looks like to be young, attractive teens, sign them up for KiwiCo. They'll get smarter, and you can get 50% off with the Hacksmith discount. This is just me promoting the promotion that he's promoting. Okay. Also, subscribe to this channel. Do it now. Do it. Just do it.
I might not have any kids myself, but after building a few of these crates myself, I can't think of a better way to teach others how to make things.
He should have kids. He should start having them now.
Some moments with these crates, leading to even bigger, whoa, awesome discoveries tomorrow. Check out kiwico.com/hacksmith50 for 50% off your first crate, any crate. Just click the link in the description below, and you'll be helping support the channel as well.
How do I support your deltoids? Look at those.
Daryl, I got it figured out, man. It's the ESCs on startup.
ESCs?
Okay, let me explain. It's really simple. Look here.
Uh-huh.
This is the amount of drag the wheels encounter at the startup, okay? The closer these wheels are to the ground, the more resistance they face, okay?
Okay, so there's drag.
That's a big amount of drag. You see that? Analogy here. Maybe, I know you're a little bit slow, so I got something to explain for you. A
Dude.
car on a hill.
The car.
The bigger the angle, the more power you need. Now, our ESCs, they're only rated for 190 amps.
Jimmy looks like he's rolling on Molly right now. He's like so there for it all, and so I love it. I love you all. This is great.
The more resistance they encounter, the more current they need to pump out.
Okay, Jimmy.
And as soon as they start up,
Okay,
to
Jimmy.
that big drag,
I get it.
bruh, the ESCs, they go boom.
Right, you did a lot of Molly.
Just make sure it doesn't go 190 amps. I gotta make sure this works. I need a test. This test
You need
rig
some
is
water,
set up with
dude.
the same air gap.
You need some water. He got some. This isn't
Hoverboard.
okay. I'll shut up.
We've connected an oscilloscope to an ESC and throttle input. This will allow us to record the current draw and the throttle during a ramp up. The ESC can only handle about 190 amp bursts. So basically, we need to make sure that the threshold is at or below that. I've got this old 80s style watch, kind of looks Back to the Future-esque. I'm going to be using this to record the amount of time it takes to reach 100% throttle. To sum it up, we need a throttle input to reach 2 milliseconds, which is the equivalent of 100% throttle, and the current can't spike over 190 amps. The watch will tell us how long it takes to do that. Time to test it out. To get our wheels to 100% throttle without exceeding 190 amps, it took us 8 seconds. On our hoverboard, the ESCs are what control the motor, and I can program them to take 8 seconds to ramp up to 100% throttle. Problem solved. But before I implement this on the board, I really want to make sure this is actually accurate. I don't have that many ESCs left. So, I'm going to be testing this a bunch more times. After 1,000 tests, it's safe to say that an 8-second ramp-up is accurate for our board. Let's program it in.
We're about to do our 4th hover test. Hopefully this time,
If you don't read the text that just came up said not 1,000 tests, just 8. But I'm just helping all the non-reading viewers of this.
it works. 3, 2, 1. Holy Holy crap. That was hovering.
Wow.
Did you see how high it was? Yeah. Honestly, a massive relief. I put a lot of hours into this project, more so than I'd like to admit. And just seeing that hover, honestly, just makes me really happy.
Nice. Nice. Good for you, Jimmy.
It's a little bit unbalanced, but I think once we get some weight on top, it'll be pretty stable. 3, 2, 1.
Whoa! Wow!
Okay, 3, 2, 1, cut! It's warping the plate so bad.
That's probably 70 degrees.
Dude,
they-
look at the plate.
Were they using like a dead body, like a dead dog or something? What was in the bags?
It's a lot stable.
Sorry,
A lot
I'll
more
go back.
stable, rather, than the first test.
D8?
Dude, look at the plate. It's warping so bad. That was a great success. As soon as we put on the sandbags, it was a lot more stable rather, than the
Sandbags.
first test.
The 8-inch aluminum plate that we used got so hot from the eddy currents, it actually started to warp.
Wow.
This is basically a 10 kilowatt induction stove. Let me demonstrate.
Oh, that looks great. The yolk is, what is that, ostrich egg? Those are big yolks.
Okay, I think things are gonna go on fire if I don't turn it on.
All this heat caused thermal expansion, which is why the plate warped during the test.
Wow.
We're going to need to buy a thicker plate to help distribute the heat better. Time to buy a new floor.
Sounds safe. Oh man, that's really cool. Sick laces. Nice, Jimmy. Nice, Jimmy. Oh, no, stay on your feet. I mean, you did a great job.
Jimmy, what are you doing? You're testing it without me? What?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't fall.
Oh, you should run and jump on it. Like, just take a running start and jump on it. Slide to the end of that. All right. Right?
I feel like one of the kids in Miss Frizzle's class in the Magic School Bus when they raised like friction. They're like, "Have fun, kids!" All right, that was freaking awesome. We made our very own hoverboard, and it actually works. It was a ton of fun riding it. Pretty difficult considering it's kind of like riding a skateboard with no friction, which is kind of a challenge. Remind me of that episode of Magic School Bus back in the day when the kids got to play in the gymnasium with no friction on the floor. And it was definitely an experience, but fantastic job, Jimmy. Building a hoverboard is no short order. I'm pretty sure it's been the most expensive project this year too, and we've definitely run into a fair share of problems, but you figured them out, we got it working, and we did it by the end of 2020. So, awesome work.
So what does he get?
In recognition for your overuse of company resources allotted for the Back to the Future hoverboard, we are reluctant to present Jimmy's out with the most expensive project of the year award in the science and technology.
Wait, is he like kind of pissed that it cost a lot of money? I mean, okay, cool. Great, that was it. All right. Before we see anything else, all right, I got to keep you here for one more second, okay? Secret passcode for watching. If you're here right now, then you made it this far. Then if you put this in the comments section, then you win the secret passcode. I'll shout you out in tomorrow's episode. So I do this every day. It's a daily show. So the secret passcode will be frictionless willy drops. Frictionless willy drops. Whoever writes that in the comments first on this video, I will shout you out tomorrow in tomorrow's episode. Okay, that was really cool. That was awesome. Hacksmith does really cool stuff. Jimmy's really cool, and I also think you're really cool. Yeah. So thanks for coming to Professor Benjaja's Trending Trends Trend. Okay, like, comment, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. Okay, bye-bye. Hey, what's going on? It's Benjaja. If you like that video, then go ahead and subscribe to the channel. You saw that coming, right? You knew I was gonna say that to you, right? I mean, what else was I gonna say? That I'm gonna host the Oscars by 2030? I mean, that's just common sense.